So, what happens when you take two of the biggest forces in technology, virtualization and artificial intelligence, and smash them together? Well, today we're going to dive right into that. We're looking at a pretty incredible framework called ARTESEROSTEK that's basically building a bridge between these two massive worlds. Let's see how they're doing it. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll look at how these two technologies started out on completely separate paths. Then, we'll get into the big problem that forced them together. After that, we'll see how the ARTESEROSTEK bridge is the solution, check out how it works in the real world, and finally, take a little peek into the wild quantum future of computing. Okay, so to really get what's so special here, we've got to rewind a bit. You have to remember that for the longest time, virtualization and AI were practically living in different solar systems. They had nothing to do with each other. On one side, you had virtualization. Its whole reason for being was efficiency, just pure, simple efficiency. Think of it like trying to get the absolute most out of a single physical server by slicing it up into a bunch of virtual ones. But on the other side, you had AI. And that was this grand, almost philosophical quest to build machines that could actually think and learn the way humans do. And what's really wild is just how long these two ran on parallel tracks. AI gets its start way back in the 50s, mostly in universities. Then, a decade later, virtualization shows up as a really practical way for big companies to share their super expensive mainframe computers. For decades, they just stayed in their own lanes. But as AI models got smarter, bigger, and way more data hungry, well, a collision was pretty much inevitable. And that collision? It created a huge, brand new problem. You've got these amazing, powerful AI models, but the digital roads they were running on, the infrastructure, just wasn't built for that kind of traffic. Which brings us to the big question, the one that really sparked this whole ARTESEROSTEK thing. What actually breaks when you try to cram a modern, high-performance AI engine into old-school virtual tech? You hit a massive wall. See, AI workloads are super greedy. They just devour processing power, graphics power, and memory. But even worse is the latency issue. Even a tiny delay in processing data can completely wreck an AI's performance. That millisecond delay could be the difference between a bank's AI catching fraud as it happens or missing it completely. The traditional platforms, they just buckle under that kind of pressure. So it became super clear really fast that you couldn't just put a bandage on the old system. You had to build something totally new, a bridge designed from the ground up specifically to connect the raw power of AI with the awesome efficiency of virtualization. And that's where the ARTESEROSTEK AI Virtualization framework comes in. Now, this isn't just some minor update. It's a whole new system that completely rethinks how AI and virtual machines talk to each other. The entire goal is to let AI do its thing at top speed with total accuracy all inside a nice, flexible virtual setup. So, how in the world does it work? Well, it's all built on three main pillars. First, it handles resources dynamically, so an AI model gets the exact amount of power it needs, right when it needs it, no more, no less. Second, it builds a data superhighway, a direct, low-latency path that gets rid of all those performance-killing traffic jams. And third, and this part is just brilliant, it actually uses AI to manage other AI, orchestrating the whole system to make sure everything is running perfectly. Okay, that all sounds fantastic on paper, right? But what about the real world? How does this fancy new bridge actually hold up? Let's take a look at where it's already making a huge difference.
And yeah, the results are already showing up in some major industries. Take healthcare. Hospitals can now run these powerful AI diagnostic tools on the virtual servers they already have, which was basically impossible before without a massive, expensive hardware upgrade. In finance, it's the engine behind those real-time fraud systems we talked about, running at lightning speed without crashing the bank's main network. And in manufacturing, it's predicting when a machine is about to fail, saving companies an absolute fortune.
But this is not where the story stops, not even close. You see, the ARTESEROSTEK's framework wasn't just built to solve today's problems. It was designed with a serious eye on the next giant leap in computing. And the roadmap for what's next? Wow, it is seriously ambitious. They're planning to bring quantum computing into the mix. We're talking about a level of computing power that can solve problems that are impossible for even our best supercomputers today. The framework is also getting more automated, letting the system manage itself with less and less human help. And this is so important, there's a huge focus on sustainability, on making all this incredible power as energy efficient as possible. So when you boil it all down, this isn't just about solving a problem we have right now. It's about laying the foundation for a whole new era of computing, which leaves us with a pretty mind-bending question to think about. Once we truly and seamlessly merge AI with the incredible power of quantum computing, what new possibilities, things we can't even imagine today, are we going to unlock?